McGregor did. It's really a trick. He gets these people to box with him. They have no business boxing with him, and he's making millions and millions of dollars doing this way after his competitive career is over. That money has to keep coming in if you're going to live like this.
It's absolutely, he needs money.
You think he's going
Once
broke?
again, come on. Fighters like that always go broke.
Because everything that he says is about money. There's nothing else. There's no values. There's no...
Joe Rogan didn't hold back when he called out Floyd Mayweather, questioning the legitimacy of his claims about owning $42 million in 60 buildings. Mayweather's flashy numbers have been repeatedly denied by credible sources who argue that the wealth Floyd brags about is largely exaggerated. Despite the public image of a financial empire, it turns out Mayweather's supposed fortune might be a house of cards built on lies and false promises.
So Floyd is just piecing him up. Boxed up by literally the greatest boxer of all time. Floyd was just boxing him up, which is what he does. So that's what's interesting is Floyd's making more money than anybody, and he's boxing people who have no chance of beating him. It doesn't even hurt his record. Also money. He needs that money. That money has to keep coming in if you're going to live like this.
It's not that expensive though, but
he's only 46. But he does this with everything, man. He's got $1 million watches.
I don't think he buys every pair.
You think they give them to him?
Yeah. Because then you get a video like that.
Right. That's smart.
And then you get Floyd's Air Force Ones given away for charity. That's a tax write-off. There's all sorts of things that goes into
Yeah, you
that.
got a good point. But those $1 million watches, they're not giving you those.
As seen in his evolution, Floyd moved from being an exciting boxing fighter to becoming Money Mayweather. Joe Rogan commented on how Floyd stopped focusing on the thrill of boxing and instead began to care more about money while frequently disrespecting his opponents.
Floyd went from being like a real exciting pressure fighter and he had a bunch of hand problems to like Money Mayweather, start talking, just boxing people's faces off. No more hand problems, much more money.
Yeah, I love what he's doing too, beating up these YouTube guys.
It's great.
I love it.
It's so funny that these guys are willing to get beat up by him.
Well, I think they're all delusional.
And one of the reasons why people watch him fight is not because he's like Mike Tyson, just goes out and destroys people. They like watching him fight because they hate him. Because he talks so much shit, and he's like, look at my $1 million watch, look at my fucking jet, look at my house, look at this. He's like constantly showing you all these things that he has. Like he'll lay out watches in a hotel or bed, like this is $1 million worth of watches. This watch goes for $2 million. And they're like, this is my small watch that I take sometimes, but when I'll show you, when I'll show up, I bring out the big boy and it brings out this watch that's covered in diamonds. It's like $5 million. And so you hate him.
Joe Rogan has also pointed out that Floyd is not remembered only for his boxing ability, but more for the amount of money he holds. He's one of the most famous boxers in history. Yet Rogan criticizes the idea of him entering MMA, clearly stating that Floyd would get destroyed in that sport. This reflects how even respected commentators have questioned his actual adaptability and skill outside boxing.
Floyd Mayweather applying for MMA license wants 6 to 8 months to train.
He's screwed.
First of all, they should give him everything they can get their greasy paws on, get him to fight Conor in an MMA fight.
You'd be screwed.
It's not just getting screwed. Like someone said it should be 1,000 to 1. That's not high enough. It's not high enough. If Conor McGregor was going to fight Floyd Mayweather in MMA, it is as close to 100% as anything ever gets ever. He's probably going to punch Conor in the face a couple of times. It's probably going to suck. But Conor's going to get a hold of him, and then he's going to be like a baby. And if that doesn't happen, he'll kick Floyd's legs out from under him. He'll kick his legs sideways. He'll kick them from the outside. He'll kick them from the inside. He'll stay way the way from any sort of a range where Floyd can punch him. It'll be a completely alien range for Floyd.
In another instance, Joe Rogan highlighted Floyd's power by telling the story of how Mayweather allegedly fired a referee in the middle of a fight. Rogan emphasized that such a move could only be pulled off by someone like Floyd, who's at the very top of boxing both in terms of fame and influence. This moment again shows how deeply Floyd's money impacts every corner of his career.
The referee said Floyd Mayweather hit him behind the head. So Floyd fired the referee in the middle of the bout. Floyd throws this punch, and he's 100% correct. The punch landed the side of the head. It's a right hook. It's a perfect punch. And the referee was saying, watch the back of the head. He's like, what the f are you talking about? And so he kicks the guy out, and they bring in a different referee who finishes the fight. It was insane.
According to Rogan, Floyd's unmatched competitiveness came from his upbringing. His father and uncle were both deeply competitive and taught him to push himself in everything he did. This shaped him into the dominant fighter he became in his prime. However, this competitive nature also seems to have spilled into how he approaches business and wealth today.
We'll just look at boxing in terms of like how often you get hit versus how often do you hit the other guy. He's the best ever. The way him and his uncle and his father talk, I imagine they were always super competitive from the time they were young.
Yeah.
Like he grew up being they're super competitive. They're competitive about talking shit. They're competitive about all kinds of things. So it's like that hive, like growing up with that all the time, and the boxing skill.
Floyd once claimed he earns $3 million every month, suggesting that he makes more than Bill Gates. While these statements might impress fans, anyone familiar with how boxing paydays and pay-per-view models work would know these claims are more fantasy than fact. Experts have largely dismissed such numbers, pointing out that they just don't add up realistically.
And Floyd Mayweather says he makes $300 million a month, which is $3.6 billion a year. He makes more money than Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, all of those guys. So I say all that to say this. The money that Canelo was looking for, they can easily come up with that money. Floyd Mayweather got it.
Well, listen, let me put it this way to you. If he makes what did he say, 300 million a month?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm 6'4" and 240. And I know I'm 5'8" and a half and 240. So there you go. There's no way. If he makes 3 million a month on his investments, that's a lot. 36 million a year. That's a lot. So I know guys that are worth, $500-600 million, plenty of them, and they don't make $36 million a year, let alone 300 million a month. So there you go.
Floyd has always spoken about how money is central to his life. He even says he wants his children to follow in his footsteps and do the same business as he does. His main focus, he says, is creating generational wealth. But this philosophy has also made him a target of criticism from those who believe he prioritizes cash over character. I believe in building generational wealth. Even like when my children, all 4 of my children are adults, and I told them no more handouts because I feel like I'm hurting my children just by giving them money. They go shopping, they put gas in their car, they party, they come back. I need money, I give them money. I buy them houses, I buy them cars. I told them, listen, if you guys go to school or you work in one of my businesses, then you can branch off, get your own business, and I'll put the money up to help you start a business. But I need you guys to take what I've already started and triple and double that. And then I need my grandchildren to come behind you guys and do the same thing.
I believe in building generational wealth. Even like when my children, all 4 of my children are adults. And I told them, no more handouts. Because I feel like I'm hurting my children just by, I give them money, they go shopping, they put gas in their car, they party, they come back, I need money, I give them money, I buy them houses, I buy them cars. I told them, listen, if you guys go to school or you work in one of my businesses, then you can branch off, get your own business, and I'll put the money up to help you start a business, but I need you guys to take what I've already started and triple and double that. And then I need my grandchildren to come behind you guys and do the same thing.
We brought them over. I brought him over while Floyd was, incarcerated. He comes home. There's the, let's get Floyd back in pocket campaign that goes on where, it's $300,000 chains being bought and buying the new Lamborghini and all these new things. And I'm sitting there going, yo, when are you going to give me the money? Because you had already invested, right? Like, when do you give me your half of the money back? But I ain't trying to press him because he just got out of jail, right? So it's like, let him cool his heels. Before, he was that in the millions, okay? So you sitting there big, and I'm like, yo, but see, the fighters are an asset in themselves. They are that talent regardlessly, So I'm looking at him going, so ain't no pressure there. But I'm saying, when is he going to say he wants, to give me the other half of it? Why do I gotta ask you for it, right? And then are we talking over 2 million? It's about that. At that point, it was, invested in. All right, so look, he goes, when he finally does bring up the actual situation, music. He acted like he didn't know anything. Like, I didn't tell you all to do that. I didn't tell you to do that. Oh, man. And I'm looking at him, and he looked at my face, and he didn't tell me to do that. 50 Cent didn't stop at just one story. He later revealed that many people in Floyd's circle actually dislike him. According to 50, Floyd is obsessed with money and lacks basic values. He claimed that Floyd constantly brags about wealth and status, making it difficult for anyone to respect him beyond his boxing record.
We brought them over. I brought him over while Floyd was, still incarcerated.
Yeah.
Then he comes home. There's the Let's Get Floyd Back in Pocket campaign that goes on, where it's $300,000 chains being bought and buying the new Lamborghini and all these new things, and I'm sitting there going, yo, when you gonna give me the money?
Because you had already invested.
Right, like when you gonna give me your half of the money back? But I ain't trying to press him because he just got out of jail, right? So it's like, let him cool his heels before you.
Was that in the millions?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you sitting there big, and I'm like, yo, so when? But see, the fighters are an asset in themselves. They are that talent, regardlessly.
Right.
So I'm looking at him going, so there ain't no pressure there, but I'm saying, when is he gonna say he wants to, to give me the other half of it? Why I gotta ask you for it?
Right.
And then when
are we talking over $2 million?
It's about that.
Oh, okay.
At that point, it was, invested in.
All right.
So look, he goes, when he finally does bring up the actual the situation, he acted like he didn't know anything. Like, I didn't tell y'all to do that. I didn't tell you to do that.
Oh, man.
And I'm looking at him, and he looked in my face and he didn't tell me to do that.
Floyd's financial controversies don't end there. Logan Paul also came forward and said that Floyd owes him money after their exhibition fight. Despite the global attention and millions generated, Logan claims he still hasn't been paid in full. This paints a pattern of Floyd taking the money-centered approach even further, sometimes to a controversial extent.
So the money's really gone?
Yeah, that's what you think. Is get the money, spend the money.
All that money?
It took been 2 years.
So is it just his overhead is so high on a day-to-day, month-to-month? Like
I don't even want to talk about it. Like with the lifestyle, that money's gone. Trust me. Now it's like you call him, he'll be at your your local host in a nightclub because you need that action right now.
Do you think step back in the ring?
I think you got to right now because the money.
Oscar de la Hoya has shared his thoughts too. He believes Floyd still needs money, and that's why he continues to fight occasionally. According to de la Hoya, boxers like Floyd often go broke because they spend lavishly. Given Floyd's luxury lifestyle, from cars to clothes to private jets, this concern doesn't seem baseless.
Fight Logan Paul.
Name another boxer besides myself that's more famous than Logan Paul.
Tyson Fury.
What? I want you to look up Tyson Fury, how many followers, and look up how many followers Logan Paul has.
Logan Paul, 56 million. Tyson Fury, 4 million.
So 50 compared to 4 something. I can fight a fighter right now, guarantee myself 35 million. Or me and Logan Paul can go out and entertain and have fun and make 100 million or more. So if you were me, you gotta look at 35 million for 12 rounds and 100 for 6 rounds. Big difference.
Floyd has made headlines many times for his extravagant spending. He owns a watch worth $18 million and claims to have hundreds more, each worth thousands. These flexes may grab attention, but they also spark conversations about whether such habits are sustainable long-term, even for someone with Floyd's bank account.
Floyd Mayweather fought another exhibition against Gotti last Saturday. A real the crowd booing in the arena at the end. But in the middle of the second round, Floyd literally had the referee swapped out. He didn't like that the referee told him to stop hitting behind the head. Floyd is used to having the refs do whatever he wants, and he wasn't getting his way this time. It was so embarrassing. Floyd, you're 50 years old. You're a legend in the sport. I've stood up for you in countless interviews, including Shannon Sharp's podcast last week. But you have to stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions. I know life is hard. I know life is expensive. But come on, dude, put your legacy first. Nobody wants to remember you like this. And it gets worse. Your jeweler filed a lawsuit against you in Miami. And many are saying you're gonna have to sell off your assets. I hate seeing this happen, bro.
Floyd himself has never been shy about bragging. He often says no boxer in the history of the sport has accomplished what he has. His confidence is evident, but so is his constant comparison with others, which fuels his brand but also invites skepticism and criticism.
$1.8 million.
$1.8 million watch.
$1.8 million?
You're the first to see it.
That's insane. That
1.8 is high. 18 life.
That happy birthday, champ.
That's how we doing.
1 point. That is sick, dude.
But you gotta show him what he's saying.
Money green.
No,
Hold on. This watch was made specifically for the champ, Floyd Money Mayweather. One of one piece.
One of one.
Money team.
Can we see it on him?
Yes, sir.
That one of one.
$1.8 million.
Floyd fought Logan Paul for money, yet went on to criticize Mike Tyson for fighting Jake Paul in his old age. This hypocrisy didn't go unnoticed by fans and critics. It shows how Floyd wants to control the narrative around money fights. Okay, when he does it, but not for others.
Okay, so your new contract, you wanted no extensions. That's one thing.
Yeah, that's one thing.
Okay, what was one of them? The ability to box?
One of them was the ability to box. They said that wasn't an option. Boxing is dead. It's not possible. This and that.
Now, what does that feel like to you, knowing that Conor McGregor did it and fought Floyd Mayweather and made $100 million?
Yes, gentlemen, let's do this.
A bitch, nigga, that's that shit I don't like. No. Sneak designs, that's that shit I don't like.
Mike Tyson has not hidden his feelings about Floyd either. He once mentioned that he doesn't like Floyd because, despite being retired, Floyd is always showing off. You don't think there's an
opportunity to land a big punch on Floyd?
Let me tell you something about Floyd. This is what I don't like about him either. No matter whatever we say about him, and it could be true, but he's in that gym. He's a rat. He retired, but he stayed in the gym. He can't help it. It's just he don't do drugs. That's his heroin, the gym.
Someone told me this. They say he doesn't have a vice. Yeah. He doesn't have a vice.
No, he does. The gym.
The gym.
Yeah.
Floyd has been business-minded from the beginning of his career. However, the way he has gone about securing wealth includes actions that raise ethical questions. From unpaid dues to exaggerated earnings, there are moments where Floyd's version of success seems more about illusion than integrity.
Floyd Mayweather is the most successful boxer in history with a 50-0 record and one of the wealthiest athletes of all time with $1 billion in earnings. But I bet you didn't know it all started with a $750,000 bet on himself. Here's the wild story. In 2006, Floyd Mayweather was 10 years into his boxing career and earning over $5 million per fight. At the time, Mayweather was signed to Bob Arum's Top Rank Boxing promotion, a partnership which saw Arum get 25% of Mayweather's fight purse. But Mayweather wanted more, and in 2006, he turned down $8 million to fight Antonio Margarita and said he deserved $20 million to fight Oscar De La Hoya. Arum wasn't happy and wouldn't pay up, so Mayweather paid the $750,000 exit fee in his contract to leave Top Rank. Mayweather then went on to promote his own fights, earning a percentage of every ticket, hot dog, and beer sold at the event, and most importantly, all pay-per-views sold. And just 1 year later in 2007, after leaving Top Rank, Mayweather made $25 million for his win against Oscar De La Hoya. Now that's what happens when you bet on...
Well, I think I'm separated now. You know, I don't think there's no boxer in history that has accomplished what I've accomplished. Not bragging or boasting, just speaking the truth. I take my hat off to a lot of legendary champions, you know, that paved the way for me to be where I'm at in the sport of boxing. But that was their era, and this is my era. Had a tremendous career. And we got young fighters that's on the rise, that's under our banner. The ultimate goal is to find the next Floyd Mayweather that can break my record.